Hey, shalom, 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 lakam, which is peace unto you all. Ha'irab tawab la atham za'ach yakam yawaman rachagador Charlotte, which is good evening. This is your brother Yawan from the GMS camp in Charlotte. Nachamatam kaya hamalakat hashemayim kwara. Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call halayim la abanawa Yahweh bahasham Yahweh shai bahasham rocha hakodash wa mashana la zakonim na wa malakyam shor chagador, which is all praises to our Father Yahweh, which means he exists, Bahasham, and the name Yahweh Shai delivers in double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Zah Bamadabar. This is Numbers chapter 35, and we'll get verse 33. And it says, So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. All right. And it's a multitude of things, of different things, in the scriptures that can spiritually and literally pollute a land. All right, and specifically just going into this verse, this is going into unchecked murders. You see, because a land more specifically, that this applies to. It applied in ancient Israel and various different other times as well. You see, but then going into this land in America, Babylon the Great, which was given to Gad and Reuben, or essentially Gad and Reuben was chiefly in America, Babylon the Great, and Northern Kingdom was over in the Americas. You see, but again, tying us into America, Babylon the Great, it's a lot of unchecked murders type spirits. All right, and what's supposed to happen with those? All right, in a righteous society, those individuals are supposed to be put to death, you see, because then that spirit won't be lurking, you see, with the institution of, the penal system. All right, when I say penal system, I'm talking about the prisons, the jails, and things of that nature. It essentially keeps that spirit lurking, you see. So that's why I say very murderous type of land. All right, so running it back, Numbers 35 and 33, it says, So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. You see, so who chiefly is shedding the blood of Jake in America, Babylon the Great? All right, that would be Esau, Edom. You see, which the Lord is essentially just preserving him until that day. But that's essentially what would cleanse this land in the fashion of the law, right? Because we understand that this land's gonna be cleansed by ultimately the ICBMs. It's gonna be like a overkill, you see. But just talking about specifically in a land in a given period of time, if it's any type of murderous spirits in that specific land, that's gonna bring that more of that spirit. And the correct thing to do scripturally, all right, in the law would be to put that type of spirit to death, or put the individual that committed a murder. You see, because in the scriptures, it's a difference in a kill and a murder. A kill will be justified. A murder is not justified, and it's two different words. All right, in the blue letter. All right, but I'm gonna get this though. This is Proverbs chapter 16, and we'll get verse 4. It says, "The Lord hath made all things for himself, yet even the wicked for the day of evil." You see, so it's a lot. Again, it's a lot of unchecked murders, all right, in America, Babylon the Great. And I'm actually going to the commentary on this right here. This is Numbers 35 and 33 in the commentary. All right, and it says, Numbers 35 and 33. And it says, the urgency to bring murderers to justice. So it says, for blood defiles the land, and no atonement can be made for the land. So like, unjudged murders defile a nation. When murderers are not brought to justice, there's a blot on a nation that only the severe punishment or judgment of the Most High can cleanse. All right, and that's essentially where we at right now in America, Babylon the Great. This place has to be not only with the unchecked murders or unjudged murders. You see a whole bunch of slew of other things. That's why the scriptures say the scriptures know this place as or the scriptures call this place Maratayam, which is double rebellion. You see, for that double rebellion it's going to be a double bitterness, all right, the double bitterness of the ICBMs, you see, because it's a multitude of different defilements that this place carries out or carries on, you know. But it says, except by the blood of him who shed it, all right, and who has shed, all right, the blood of chiefly Jake in America, Babylon the Great. All right, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, you see. But he's not being punished. You see, the Lord requires that which is past, which we'll get out of Tazah, you see. It's just that, again, the Lord has reserved the wicked for the day of evil. All right, continuing on, it says, except by the blood of him who shed it, the way to avoid this defilement is to judge and execute murderers. No atonement can be made for the land for the blood that is shed on it, except by the blood of him who shed it. One may say that because of the stain of so many unpunished murders, that the USA is a defiled land. Across the country, many are murdered, under many circumstances, and few are brought to justice. The blood of the slain cries out before the Most High. All right, and those slain, again, represent, Jake. All right, so let's also get this. Zakwahalat, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and we'll get verse 15. And it says, that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past. So, it's an account, all right, that the so-called white man has to ultimately pay. That tab that he's building up, all right, from how he's running society, you see, and then more specifically, how he is keeping spirits around, or he has a lot of unchecked judgments. Essentially, Esau has tried to take the scriptures into himself, you see, but he's not ultimately conducting himself in the manner in which he should be, hypothetically, you see. But he wasn't made, to run the world righteously. All right, this is essentially his role in the movie, you see. So the Lord's gonna require an account for that as well, pursuant to Psalms the 50th chapter. I'm gonna get this real fast. This is Psalms chapter 50, and we'll get verse 21. Verse 16. It says, but unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, you see, in which he's going to be, I'm going to keep reading. It says, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes, you see. So ultimately, Esau Edom is going to be reprimanded and reproved for this, you see. He's going to have his his kingdom taken from his grasp. All right, his hegemonies are going to be destroyed. All right, and it's going to be, all right, implosion. All right, and it's going to be a slow kill, you see, all the way up into the nukes. All right, that's essentially what's going to cleanse this place. All right, so let's get this too. This is Isaiah, Yeshaya chapter 14, and we'll get verse 21. And it says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. And one of the chief iniquities, all right, is the murder of Jake. All right, it says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, you see, because the Lord deals with regeneration. So the children of Esau that are today, you see, they're just their forefathers coming back, all right, in the regeneration. It says that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities. You see, because ultimately, if that was to happen again, if this was to continue on, no flesh will be saved. With them inside a specific land, all right, they're not going to run the world righteously. All right, they're going to run it in a unbalanced estate. You see, so ultimately, they don't need to reproduce. The scriptures say if they reproduce, it is for the sword. Roughly paraphrasing. All right, I believe that's in Job somewhere. All right, let's also get this though. And I'm going to go ahead and close. This is Revelation chapter 13. And we'll get verse 9. And it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. All right, so, Esau Edom led us into captivity. All right, chiefly Esau Edom. All right, starting with the chief head of Amalek. All right, down to the rest of the heathen. All right, so with Esau Edom, he's going to serve, his captivity because he led us into captivity. All right, after his captivity, he'll be destroyed. You see, with the other heathen, getting their respective lands back. You see, but Esau isn't going to receive of any type of inheritance. All right, in the kingdom. All right, he'll essentially be destroyed after his 1,000 years of slavery. All right, continuing on, verse 10 it says, "He that leadeth into captivity, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So in Esau Edom's hegemony, all right, in the different various places he has power over, all right, those are going to be destroyed with ICBM nukes. You see, but those that aren't hit with the nukes, they're going to be rounded up as the first fruits of slavery. You see, so I'm gonna get this too. This is Zatha This is Psalms chapter 28 and verse 3. It says, "Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts." You see, because ultimately how Esau comes is he comes as if he's trying to humble himself. You see, but he only has ulterior motives. He has ulterior motives of essentially running things in a wicked type of fashion. All right, and that's essentially again what is adding to his lack of righteousness in his given societies or his given civilization. Verse 4: "Give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their desert." You see, because going back to Psalms, the 50th chapter, they understand what they're supposed to do. You read these books, and the Esau had basically what I'm saying is Esau has a detailed synopsis of each law. All right, why it was that way, why was it this way, how you supposed to do it. You see, it's just that he chooses not to do it the correct way. All right, and he's gonna have to pay for everything that he has done. You see, but yeah, I just want to go into that. You see, because again, it's a lot of unchecked murders in this place, and that's essentially what brings that murderous spirit. And it's been an increase in that and the years leading up until now. How he has essentially programmed these YNs to think in that fashion. That their whole MO, all right, is just to essentially be just that. A YN. A fucking demon. Just on demon time. You see, he wants to create a murderous type of society. All right, he doesn't want to push forth life. Or everything in the society is just meant to push forth death. All right, and that's a reflection of again, the unchecked murders are in the U.S. of A. and America, Babylon the Great. You see, so just want to go into that. Adon Tazaza by Naya Pablo was with. That was a beautiful edification through the spirit. Adon Tazaza Atam Yash Layala Tawab. Lord's will. You have a good night. Wa shalom lakam, which is peace unto you all. Shalom, shalom.